Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Landon, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 practical tips on how to start saving money. Saving money is a lot easier said than done, but hopefully after watching today's video, you'll gain some insight into how you can start cutting back some costs and start saving for whatever it is that you're saving up for. Alright, so let's get right into it with money saving tip number 1, and that is to pay yourself first. This is by far the easiest way to instantly start saving money. So what does it mean? So whenever you get paid, take 10, 15, 20%, whatever you can save, and just have it automatically withdrawn from your paycheck and put to a separate account where you know that money will be safe, you're not going to touch it, it's there for whatever it is that you're trying to save up for. And it's important to have the discipline to do this at the start of the month, whenever you get paid. Because if you say, I'm going to save whatever I have left at the end of the paycheck, then chances are you're going to spend a lot of that paycheck on things that you don't need, like excess eating out or alcohol or things like that. But if you pay yourself first and build up the discipline to have that money instantly taken out of your paycheck, be put aside for something that you're trying to save up for, that is an instant way to start saving for whatever it is that you're saving up for. So if you're unsure about how you're going to be able to save 10% or more of your income or your paycheck every single month, start budgeting. Do budgeting for 1 month and just track your expenses. Tracking your expenses is super important, because if you don't know how much money is coming in and where that money is going, then how can you really expect to cut back costs and to find ways that you're spending too much money in some areas? So budgeting is going to be a really good tool just for understanding where your expenses are going. All right, so money saving tip number 2 is to stop buying Starbucks coffee every day, or wherever you get your morning coffee on your way to work. So a quick Google search revealed that the average price of a Starbucks coffee is $2.75. So if you were to go and get a coffee every morning on your way to work from Starbucks, that would cost you about $13.75 a week. Over 52 weeks, that's $715 just in coffee on your way to work. So that's a big expense, and it sounds like a lot more money when you multiply that out through the year, because $2.75 doesn't really sound like a lot when you're just buying one coffee for the day. So if you were to instead make your own coffee at home, I averaged 50 cents per cup of coffee. So over the year, you'd be paying $130. That's a big difference from $715. So, and that $715 that you would be spending on that Starbucks coffee didn't include the extras that you might put in there, creamers and stuff like that, that increase that cost. So coffee, I'm not a coffee drinker myself, but I understand a lot of people are, and a lot of people depend on that, and that's cool and all, but that's one expense I don't have to deal with. So maybe you should look into cutting back on coffee in general. I don't know, I don't want to impress that on you, but that's one way to realize that can be a very large expense. And so by cutting back on your daily coffee or making it at home, you could save a lot of money. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and drink coffee. Don't go out and enjoy the social things, because that's important too. I mean, there's a difference between living frugally and living cheap. And when you're living cheap, you're cutting things at the expense of relationships too, and that's not the point of being frugal. Being frugal is just recognizing those expenses and being conscious of it. I'm not saying don't go out and be social and enjoy those morning coffees with a friend or with a group of people. I'm just saying be conscious of it. Just because you've got friends who are doing that every day, buying even more expensive drinks every single day, doesn't mean that you have to. All right, money saving tip number 3 is to buy things secondhand. Now, there are some things, as kind of a preface to this, that I would not recommend buying secondhand. And these are things like mattresses, toothbrushes, underwear, hairbrushes. So things like that have been used in areas that you maybe would be conscious about. Those are things that I wouldn't buy secondhand. But there are a lot of things that you can buy secondhand that are really great quality and would cut expenses amazingly. So things like cars, that I could make a whole video on why buying a used car is a great way to save money. But cars, furniture, things like that we often don't spend every single day, but we could save a ton of money on by looking online at things like Facebook Marketplace or even Craigslist that have really awesome things on it, but for half the price or whatever. So by buying things secondhand, you can really save a lot of money that way. All right, money saving tip number 4 is to add another income stream. So if you're trying to save money, a good way to save that money is to make more money. And so by adding an income stream, you can save that income stream for whatever. So adding an income stream is not all that difficult anymore. By starting a side hustle like a business or figuring out a way to monetize a hobby can be great ways for you to continue doing something that you enjoy and make a little bit of money on the side. So find out something that you're interested in, whatever you're interested in, whether it's baking or shooting YouTube videos or whatever it is, and find a way to make money doing that, just as kind of a side hustle thing. Maybe it grows into something bigger and you are able to do that and make more money on that side hustle instead of your full-time job. So adding an income source can be another way to save money. So money saving tip number 5 is to lower your phone plan. And I know this is kind of a touchy subject because there's lots of controversy and people will say a lot about this phone plan and this phone plan's better coverage and blah, blah, blah. But here's the reality. Most of us use Wi-Fi 90% of the time. And when we don't, we're usually in a city that's big enough in size to have at least decent coverage. So when I was shopping around looking at getting into a new phone plan, companies like AT&T or Verizon, their simple plans for 8 gigabytes a month or whatever were $80 to $100. That's a lot of money to pay for a cell phone each month. And that was for single line, by the way. But I found Mint, and I'm not a Mint salesperson or anything like that. But I found Mint Mobile, and I was able to cut my cell phone bill by 75%. I was paying like close to $100. And by switching to Mint, I'm not a salesperson, it sounds like I am, but I found Mint and I'm paying $25 a month for 8 gigabytes of data, and it's pretty amazing because I don't even use 8 gigabytes of data, and I have good coverage. Like it's decent coverage. I haven't any problems with that. And I'm not saying Mint is the perfect one for you, but just look around and find coverage in your area on a different provider, and that can be a huge way to save a lot of money every single month. All right, awesome. So hopefully after watching this video, you're aware of some ways that you can look into start saving some money. If you have any other ways that you'd like to share on how to save some money, comment down below in the discussion. If you like this video and would like to see more videos similar to this in the future, please consider subscribing. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next video.